Smooth 98.1. Business Hub on Smooth 98.1. In association with Lotus Bank. Lotus Bank.
All right, Lagos, it is 18 minutes going to 5, and you tuned in to Business Hub on Smooth 98.1. And today on Business Hub, yes, we'll be talking about AI. I know that we touched, I touched about on AI this morning. So, hey, let's even look at how AI is going to be impacting Nigeria's educational sector. And having this conversation with me, someone who knows his onions and is in this field, is Chibuike Aguene. So, yes, I needed to pronounce that right. Thank you so much. And he is the CEO of Bildup AI, and it's a pleasure to have you with me. And hey, talking about AI, it is right up my alley. I love all the interesting things that AI is able to help us achieve right now.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure indeed. All right, Lagos, as always, you can share your thoughts on, hey, the interesting things you also have, that you've thought about, that you've also enjoyed when it comes to AI, and what are the things you want to contribute regarding AI and improving our Nigeria's educational sector? And talking about Bildup AI, can you tell us what that is all about? Because when I came across it, I was like, huh, are we building something up?
But, yes, we are building something up. We are building the system up. Okay, thank you once again. Bildup AI, we're an AI startup. So recently we unveiled the first Africa super intelligent AI personal tutor. Okay. A personal tutor that is smart, intelligent, that can think independently. It's redefining the way students learn, practice, and succeed. In fact, this is the future of education that everybody has been talking about. So it's right here with us. It's no longer something that is far-fetched. It's not a pipe dream. It's a reality today with Bildup AI. So what we've done is imagine every student anywhere in the world having access to the world's best tutor/mentor. That is what we've done. Educational system in Nigeria and of course Africa, there's a lot of barriers. You can talk about the student-teacher ratio.
Very there's that. It's very low, and I'd even say poor at some point.
Very poor. You talk about infrastructure, about unequal access to quality education. And then there are a lot of barriers. But what we've succeeded in doing is using the transformative power of artificial intelligence to break all these barriers and give every child anywhere in the world equal access to quality education. Because just come to think of it, who is the person that will invent the breakthrough innovation that will help our lives 5, 10 years from now? We don't really know the person. It might be someone in the village today that maybe hawking stuff on in the street or something. Because we don't know, the best part is to provide quality access to education to every child. So it shouldn't be something that is a privilege that is reserved for few people, right? Access to quality education should be a right that every child can have. And that's the way we're looking at it. That young people, of course, they are the future in terms of the people that will build stuff, that will transform the economy. We're all seeing, talking about how do we improve the economy? How do we make things better? It's human beings that will make this to happen. And for them to make it happen, they need to have access to quality education. And how are you going to do that? Imagine the gap that exists. Let's not even go and start talking about out-of-school children.
Honestly, that's a huge gap.
There's a huge gap. If we focus on young people, teenagers, secondary school, what are kind of the quality of education that they are receiving, right? You see that what we have today is one solution for all, irrespective of the level of proficiency, irrespective of learning pace, and of course, different learning styles. So a teacher will come to a class, and kudos to teachers, they are doing great work, right? It's not their fault. But the current
Yeah.
system, you come, you teach, and then you assume that everybody have a grasp of whatever that you've taught them. But that's not
Right.
the case. That's not the case. Some are slow learners. That doesn't mean that they are not smart, and that doesn't mean they are not intelligent, right?
Right.
Some learn very fast. So how do we create a system that can actually deliver personalized knowledge to every child anywhere, irrespective of their level of proficiency, irrespective of their learning pace, and of course, their unique learning style? So that's what Bildup AI has actually delivered to every child anywhere in the world, and it's proudly Africa. So the future of education is here, and it's
It,
proudly Africa.
I like the fact that you said is proudly African. It's not
Yes,
something that hey, we're importing, so to speak. So it is good to know that it is proudly African. Uh,
yes.
I don't know. Should I say proudly Nigerian as well?
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah, okay.
Because,
So
when you
proudly
talk
African,
about
proudly.
Africa,
Uh-huh.
the truth is that we're inspired to that Nigerians should lead. We
Right.
believe that young people should drive innovation. Young
Mm-hmm.
people should drive economic growth. We don't just have to wait and observe what is going on around the world. When you hear
Before
about
we
AI
tap into it.
innovation, you will be hearing China, you'll be hearing America, but we need to hear Africa. We need to hear a country like Nigeria, and that's
Okay.
the lead that we have taken. Let Nigeria lead. That's what we say in our office. Let Nigeria lead. This is a celebration of Nigerian talent. It's not really about us as an organization. It's
Okay.
about Nigeria. It's about Africa, right? We
Right.
have young talent in Nigeria that can do a lot of stuff, and this is just
That
a
that
testament to
yeah.
that.
Well, that makes me want to find out really. When you say that it's not just Nigerian, right? It's you looking at innovating things for the African child and the world at large. The
Yes.
softwares or software engineers that built this process with you, are they Nigerians or are they from other countries? I'm just trying to see where the knowledge we're imbibing is coming in from. Or since you say we need to grow Africa to be, in the eyes of the world.
Yes.
So did we
100%
get this
Nigerian.
from?
100%.
Awesome,
100%. Yes,
awesome.
there are a lot of untapped talent in the country. I
Mm,
think what our young people need is a platform to showcase
right.
what they are capable of doing. With the right platform and the right asset resources, Nigeria can do wonders. Nigerians, honestly, and this is just a testament to that. That the resilience of Nigerian talent and of course, indeed, African. So 100% Nigerian talent.
I like that. I like that indeed. And hey, this is me just being playing devil's advocate, but also trying to find out where we are going right now. Do you rely on existing AI software from OpenAI or other companies, or is this something that you built from the ground up, knowing that this is my own thing? It's not that because yeah, it's AI. It's some knowledge that has already grown in the background, and so we might as well just take here, take there, tweak it to soothe us. I'm just wondering.
Okay. Very soon we will have a section where we will discuss in detail the underlying technology behind what we've built.
All
But
right.
this is an industry that there's a lot of collaborations going on. Uh,
Mhm.
but we will have time to actually unveil the underlying technology. But what we built, I can tell you that is a breakthrough innovation, is a breakthrough in indigenous innovation. So we'll have a section where we'll discuss in details the underlying technology that is driving it.
I like that. I can't wait to, you know, be in that space and see all the interesting individuals who come up with this. AI just seems like it's the next best thing. But they say with every knowledge, it is what you put in that you'll get out. So if you have the right knowledge, if you put it in, best believe that that's what you're also going to be getting out. And talking about getting out, it's said that AI would in some ways begin to replace regular workers. But I know that the people who work on AI are still the masters of AI. That makes me want to ask, do you agree, or are you saying, hey, we'll marry it together, or it's a no? Agree, disagree, or are you in the middle?
Okay, as a person and even our organization, we try to avoid using the word replace.
Mm,
Because it creates a misconception about AI as if the primary objective is to replace. And then people that wants to learn AI, they are now learning out of fear because they don't want to be replaced. I rather we look at AI as something that is going to enhance human ability so
okay.
that people can decide to learn AI from the point of view of I want to triple whatever capacity that I have. I want to
Okay.
10x my ability as a human being, right?
Mhm.
That mindset change is very important. Instead of coming from the point of view of being scared, is this going to replace humans? Is this going to replace workers? This is going to, of course, I won't use the word replace, but this is the future. That there's no doubt that artificial intelligence has come to stay. I like
Right.
to, whenever I'm discussing with my team, I always say that it's as though human race is on a reset, but we are yet to understand the magnitude of what has happened. This is
Okay.
was going to go down in history as probably one of the greatest inventions in human history. Artificial
Mm,
intelligence is going to rank on top when it comes to the greatest invention in human history. And
mm,
something of that nature, we shouldn't see it as coming to replace. We should see it as coming to help us, right?
okay.
Double down whatever capacity that we think that we have. We
Okay.
can do times 10 of that, right? So people can start learning AI from the point of view of what are those things that were once impossible to imagine? Can we
But
learn
now,
it and then apply it? And it
right,
doesn't matter in the field. You must not be a tech, maybe entrepreneur or working in the tech space, right? AI is
right.
impact every sector. So it's a question of how will this impact this sector? Are we going to
Will we
leverage
improve?
intelligence? Yes, to accelerate growth in the sector that you operate. If you look at it from that perspective, you will be able
Mhm.
to reap the full benefit of artificial intelligence. But if you
I
come
like that.
from fear, like I'm scared, it's going to replace me, then you are going to miss out. Even though that you try to learn anything on AI, you are going to miss out.
Mm. All right, thank you so much for that. Now I know that AI is not replacing anyone, rather, it's just enhancing all that we get to do. Well,
Yeah.
Lagos, let's take this quick breather. On the other side, we definitely will continue the conversation because I want to know how easy has it been, building this from the ground up? Well, we'll talk about that and maintaining because maintenance culture is not a strong suit in Nigeria. But we'll talk about that on the other side and much more. Lagos, don't go nowhere. Stay tuned to Smooth 98.1. Yeah, like I said, just a quick breather. We'll be back.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Ah, well, someone's commenting here already. Well, Cisco says you already have telcos and banks that are already using AI to replace customer service department, which in a sense is true, but it's not completely true because even I've had experience where okay, I have some banking issues and it will say, okay, wait, when you get to zero and you want to speak to a customer care agent, you have to wait. And you hear the number of people that are waiting because they still want that thing resolved, that AI is not resolving in the background. So it still boils down to the fact that AI can't replace,
You
as
can.
people say, it's just enhancing and making work faster for people in those segments or
Yes,
in
you
the
know
sector.
the kind of the industries that will emerge uh, as a result of AI and the jobs that is going to create. You look at what is happening in the fintech, right?
Right.
Without mobile technology, we won't have those opportunities. But people were scared that mobile technology is going to replace people. But just imagine the number of jobs that they are creating. It's a question of trying to understand the technology and leverage on it to actually empower yourself and take advantage of that.
All right. Good,
Yes.
good, good. Let's get back in and have continue our conversation.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Lagos, it is 34 minutes going for 5, and you are tuned into Business Hub here on Smooth 98.1, brought to you by Lotus Bank. And today, like we've been talking about, if you just tuned in, well, you haven't missed so much, but yeah, just a tad bit, because we've been talking about artificial intelligence and taking a look at how it can improve Nigeria's educational sector. And my guest is Chibuike Aguene, and he is the CEO of Bildup AI. And it is great what the company is doing. It's not just for the African child, or let me even say, it's not just for the Nigerian child. It's for Africans and the world at large to enhance knowledge, because hey, if the children in certain parts can't access education as easily as possible, well, this is another avenue where they can. And I say this is where they can because before the breather, I asked, I mentioned how it is to build the software. It's not just the usual, oh, you put A and B together and that's how it works. So I'd like you to give us update on, or speak to the cost of even creating the software for your business, and how it's been trying to maintain it. Because, like I said, maintenance culture in country is not as great as we expect it to be, but I'm sure it's pinched your pockets in certain ways that we don't even want to know. But as a business owner, how has it been so far?
Okay, I would rather look at the cost from the human capital perspective. This has been the most brain-tasking project that we've ever done.
Okay.
Building this requires extraordinary level of thinking,
Mm,
of course, extraordinary level of talent in terms of the engineering team. And of course, you're going to encounter series of challenges.
hmm
Like I tell my team whenever we face like challenges that looks like this is impossible to overcome.
Insurmountable.
Yes.
Right.
What keeps us going is that the magnitude of the impacts. We looked at children in Africa,
Okay.
look at the population of Africa, look at
Mm,
the gap that exists when it comes to access to quality education. And we say that this is worth it. No matter the sacrifices that we make, no matter the level of effort, no matter the kind of strain that this put on us, like we have to make this happen. This
mm,
has to be an indigenous push. We don't have to consume AI technology just as we did during the mobile technology era.
okay.
Nigeria and Africa didn't play a leading role. You talk
Okay.
about social media era. We're just consuming it. Millions of Nigerians, and of course, Africa, we are on social media. And you look at them, none of these social media are indigenous technology. So this is the
Mm.
era of AI. We don't have to repeat that to just consume, to just get excited and say, oh my God, let me check this. We need to provide leadership. Can we,
Right.
for once, use this technology to solve our own problem and also even help the world to
Extend to
solve
the
their own
world.
problem? Yes. So when we looked at that and we say, is what the effort? Let us keep pushing. And that was why we were able to push through all the challenges, all the obstacles. And today is a reality. We're excited. We're receiving calls from everywhere, schools, individuals, parents calling us. They want to integrate our AI schools, parents, they want it for their children. And looking at young teenagers getting excited, having AI personal tutor, interacting with them like their personal mentor, it gives a sense of fulfillment. You see a child that ordinarily there's no way in this world that that person can afford to be anywhere close to a school where he or she will get quality education. And you are not this person assessing the world's best tutor. Interacting freely. That gives us a sense of fulfillment, and we're excited about that. So we say all the effort that we've put in is actually worth it, and we're excited that it's going to lead. It's going to bring revolution in the educational sector. It's not an improvement in what is actually already existing. It's actually a transformation. We are reimagining education as you know it today. We're imagining the way students learn in classroom. We are rolling out our AI integration in classroom. We started here in Enugu, and then different schools across Nigeria, they've been calling us. And in the coming weeks, we'll be making a serious announcement in that regard, the effort we are making to integrate AI in every classroom. That's what we're trying to see, so that every child should have access to quality education. There shouldn't be any barrier, because we don't know if that person is the person we've been waiting for.
Right, the genius we've been waiting for. And talking about genius, right? I know that you said you've had collaborations, well, more private schools and parents who are reaching out to you to want to get access to this. What about public schools? Because I don't want to generalize, but funding from public schools can be a hassle. So how are you going to tackle that? And seeing that is usually the one that everyone can get access to, as opposed to the private schools, you have to pay, your school, they will help you get that. But when it comes to a public setting or public schools, that's a hurdle.
Right. You're right. In fact, when we are doing our research, this is an area that we see as a barrier to entry in terms of public school. Can they afford a technology of this nature? And we started doing cost benefit in terms of what is already in existence. Set up a school, maybe a public school. There's a building there. You have chairs, you have tables, you have to pay the teachers and all that. And what does it cost to access this technology that is the world's best tutor? You just need access to, maybe you have a laptop or you have a tab, right? And then you can access it. And we've subsidized it to the barest minimum. Yes, we've subsidized it. We have a monthly subscription plan for public schools. But we're looking at the fact that, imagine, let's say, for example, why do we use smartphone? Maybe because somebody you want to, like for me, I started using smartphone then, but because of email notification. As a business person, every now and then we're sending and receiving email. So if education is important, that there has to be a building, there has to be a table, chairs, teachers. What if now there is now a tool that with this tool, every child will have access to the best teacher in the world, right? And that tool doesn't cost a fortune to access. So we look at this and say, if you look at it on general level, it's not really expensive, but even at the same time, some school can still not afford it. In that regard, we're also providing support, helping schools to set up in terms of assessing the necessary infrastructure that is needed, which is just maybe a tablet or laptop, and then you are good to go, and internet access. So we are looking at that, because for us, it's about a revolution in the educational sector, giving every child access
to quality education.
Right? So we don't want funding to be a barrier So we are
Right.
making total provision for public schools in a way that every parent can afford, right? That's what we're looking at. Because for
Like
us,
that.
this is just a game changer, and we don't want any child to be left behind. Our policy is no child should be left behind, right? That's what we're trying to do. So for
And
us, it's important.
okay, I like the fact that you're saying you don't want anyone left behind. But here's another thing that you know, some critics have raised issues regarding AI. It says it's made children lazy, or that they've been lazy. Now they're lazier because everything they just do is go to the use their computers, use AI, and makes work easier for them. That they are not getting the enhanced knowledge that they should. That you know how it is. We grew up struggling to get this information. They want them to put some work in it, but now it just seems like, at the touch of a button, AI, what is this? And it gets the answers, but it just seems like, yeah, education is
That's
just going to be
that,
too easy. No
that's
much
a good
research
one.
being put into it.
Okay, that's a good one. And I think this is a very interesting conversation. This comes up a lot whenever conversation around artificial intelligence is being discussed. Will it
Okay.
make them lazy? But also, I think it is high time that we started to interrogate what is really education and what is really knowledge, right? We need to interrogate that and be open-minded to get an answer that might not be convenient for us. What do I mean by that? If you interrogate this properly, if you have a child and you're talking about what is really education? If we want to educate somebody, is it for that person to master the act of memorizing something and recalling it? If that is
Okay.
the case, then access to additional information becomes a threat. It disrupts that process if it's about memorization, right?
Right.
But if education is about accessing knowledge so that you will be able to create or invent something and make meaningful contribution, then access to additional knowledge is an asset. It's not a threat, right? So
Right.
when we say this, we reveal that we don't understand as a people, like what is the fundamental purpose of education? Because if access to additional knowledge is a threat, that means we just want them to memorize. The world has evolved. Okay, just imagine this conversation that we're having now. We say, what is Newton's law of motion, for example? If I
Yeah.
know it and I don't know it, but I can ask the right question. I have tools to ask the question, to assess it, not just assess it, but know.
Right.
Now, do you think you have advantage over me?
I don't think I should
That
have
is the world.
advantage over you.
Yes, that is the world that we live in now. So it's
Right.
question the
It's just a
intelligence.
level playing field, in my own
Yes,
opinion.
yes. And then again, intelligence in this era is no longer about who can memorize the more, is who
No.
can ask the right question. It's about
Right.
asking the right question. In AI, it's called prompt engineering, right? That's
Okay.
how you interact with the AI. You have to be able to ask the right question.
I
I
agree.
bet on it that in the coming years,
Mm-hmm.
the most intelligent people will
Right.
be people that can ask the right question. Honestly, it's not the people that can memorize the most. There's no human being on earth that
Right.
have all the right answers. But you
Oh,
can equip yourself to have the ability to ask the right questions. And that's
true.
where intelligence lies. And when it comes to artificial intelligence, that's how best you can interact with AI. If you have the ability to ask the right question. So we need to start grooming young people with capacity to ask the right questions, not the ability to just recall. Because what is the essence of recalling when I can have device that can give
Can
me
just give
more
me all the answers.
anything? Give me all the
Right.
answers, right? So
Right.
knowledge has evolved, and what it means to have knowledge has evolved. We need to embrace that. We don't
Thank
need to
you.
live in denial, right? We
Thank
need
you.
to embrace that reality.
I like the fact that you said we need to embrace the reality that it's not just getting the answers. It is about asking the right questions.
Yes.
And Lagos, as much as I'd love to get more and well, get deeper into the conversation because I already I see some contributions. Charles Chidese says, well, he's not asking as a devil's advocate, but he's wondering how will AI, work, seeing that we have non-existent, we have non-existent or erratic power supply in the country, and it just feels like, okay, you're teaching a child computer or computer science, and the child doesn't even know what a computer looks like. Well, that's a conversation that hopefully we'll be able to delve in the future. And further, Cisco wants to know. Well, he's saying AI will simply promote plagiarism, and young people will never do the research work of knowing it. Well, I'm sure that eventually there'll be mechanisms put in place to help detect that. You won't just do anything and you go scot-free. There will be checks and balances with such information going out. So at the end of the day, you still need to put in the work. It's not just going to be feeding you. But that's all the much we can take today on Business Hub. It's been a great conversation, which we could actually keep going on. Like I said, this is my field. I love having such conversations. But hey, time is fast spent. But if one wants to reach out to you to get access to your platform, to understand how it's working for other schools, how can they do that to you? Your social media handles that they can, contact you on.
Okay, Bildup AI on all social media. We're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook. Just search for Bildup AI. BILDUP. So there's no in the
I
build.
was going to say, please
Yeah.
spell because it's not the usual build, like
Yes,
So it is.
BILDUP, then AI. Bildup AI across all social media platforms.
All right. Thank you so much, Chibuike Aguene, for your contribution this evening, all that insight that you shared. And I hope that Lagos, you definitely will be tapping into all that knowledge. But there's so much more lined up for you here in Smooth 98.1. So as I always say, don't touch that dial.
Thank you very much.
Notice back.